This for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo and that gold. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really doubt it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the football. This for the football. This for the football.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday, happy Easter Monday. I hope everybody had a nice Easter yesterday. My name is Sam Torres. Let's do our... All right, good. There is our sound check. We're good to go there. Sam Torres here, the 440 Sports Show, Ashtabula's first and only morning sports talk show. Getting ready to cover some of the stuff that happened on Friday, some of the stuff we went over on the Diamond Roundup show last night. If you missed that, make sure you head back and check out that replay. It is YSN's weekly baseball and softball review show. Got a chance to do that last night with Anthony Hartwig and Steve Leslie. A lot of fun there. We came out with some new power rankings. I'll show those on the show today, as well as our new starting nine for this week. Those will come on the show today as well. The starting nine being the 9 best performances from last week, both in baseball and softball. It looks like this week we are going to have a really nice week for baseball and softball. I know some of the schools just started their spring break, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of baseball and softball. A lot of makeup games probably going to get played today. I think if I saw correctly, I think up here on the lakefront, we're looking at close to the 80s. And the biggest thing and the most important thing is no rain. It looks like it's going to be a relatively dry week. It should be a great week for baseball and softball. And let me tell you what, I am here for it. Thank you. Kamala Dixon. Thank you. So that's what we got going on for today's show. I do want to start off and give kind of a reminder, and I'm really excited about this Saturday. So this Saturday is going to be a very, very busy Saturday. I know in the morning we are going to have a couple games, as there's a doubleheader at Jefferson that we are going to do our very best to get the whole thing covered. Jefferson going to be taking on both Geneva and St. John. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It'll be the first time that we're going to get to see Geneva this year. Unfortunately, Geneva not part of the YSN family yet. We're hoping that changes sooner than later. If you are from Geneva or you are from any other school that you would like to have YSN provide the coverage, if you want that YSN extra, this service that is 100% totally and completely free to the school, you got to contact your school administrators, your teachers, those sort of people. Let them know, hey, I want my YSN. But nonetheless, we've got on Saturday. This is going to be a big one, folks. I'm really, really excited about this. We're covering boxing again, and the last time that we got a chance to cover boxing was right here in Ashtabula over at the Mount Carmel Center. Azari A.Z. Moreno, who is one of the most talented young boxers from the area, had a boxing match right over there at Mount Carmel. This one was put together by Moreno Productions. Christian Moreno put together this. It was a really, really fun event, a packed house, a lot of fights. It was really a great night. The first time I actually got to call a boxing match, and really learned how fun that those truly are. And I got a chance to call that boxing match with my cousin Elvis Torres, who is a boxer and a graphic design artist. And he really provided a very full knowledge base for boxing during that match. Well, I'm excited to announce that he is going to be joining me at the announcers table again for this event. Now, this event is going to happen in a heated tent at El Jalapeno in Niles, Ohio. There's going to be a lot of fights on this card. I think what I've heard is up to 20 fights. There's going to be a lot of youth fights on in there. There's going to be some adult fighting, but it's all going to be at in Niles at the heated tent in El Jalapeno on Saturday, April 15th. Now, the first fight starts at 5:00. So we'll be, and again, this is going to be a pretty long event, probably upwards of 2 hours, because there's just so many fights going on in this one. I really can't wait to get this covered, and the star, I guess, if you will, of the night on Saturday is going to be a young woman from the Youngstown area named Zion Hensley. Now, Zion Hensley, this is a young lady that is a Gold Glove boxer. She has won some, youth championships at the 90-pound weight class. This is a young lady that very soon, I believe, and a lot of people in her camp and a lot of people nationally believe as well, that this is a young lady that is going to be donning Olympic gold sooner than later. She's a very talented young woman who is very, very in tune with boxing. She's just going to keep going. She's got a lot of, I won't say hype, but she definitely has a lot of eyeballs on her because of how talented she truly is. And you're going to get to see her right here on YSN Live on Friday at 5:00, which it's just one of those cool things. You know what I mean? Boxing is, I really developed my love for calling boxing matches with right here at home through calling one right here in Ashtabula. I never realized how much fun they truly were to watch, to call. I said last week, and I want to stand by that, I am no Max Kellerman. But what I can tell you is that the excitement level you're going to get from this is going to be, right up there. Elvis, on the other hand, very, very knowledgeable about boxing, so you're going to get a great perspective on his side. While I might be hooting and hollering, because of a big punch, a big block, a big parry, those sort of things, all the stuff that kind of jumps off the page, the stuff that if you were watching at home, you're like, wow, look at that. I'm definitely you're going to get those kind of vibes from me. That's for sure. But Elvis is going to be able to provide you kind of the reasoning, how it got set up, and really discuss the beautiful science that is boxing. So make sure you guys tune in here, YSN Live. It's going to be broadcast on Saturday starting at 5:00. We're going to have the Fight to Unite. Now, outside of this being an opportunity for youth and to promote youth boxing and, promote a great youth boxer, this is going to be an event that is going to benefit fighting for autism. So it's going to be benefiting an autism acceptance and awareness because that month is April. So I think it's just what a great cause to kind of get involved with. Autism is one of those. It's one of those. I don't know if you call it an ailment, but it's one of those issues that I think has touched so many people across the United States and the world. And in the last probably 15 years, there has been a huge push on diagnosis and treatment and understanding this neurological disorder. And it's so common. I think everybody has been touched by autism, whether it's inside of their own family, somebody who they're very, very close to. it's something that's being diagnosed more. So I think the acceptance and the awareness of this is only going to help us, learn how to treat and learn how to properly kind of proceed with this neurological disorder that affects so many. So, what a great cause to get involved with. Youngstown Salem Boxing Club is going to be the official sponsor for this one. And I'm just really excited for this one. I'm really excited for the opportunity to call boxing again. It truly is. It's a wonderful sport. It's a beautiful sport to watch. And we've got some young athletes that I think are truly going to put on a show, starting with Zion Hensley. So that one going to be happening on Saturday. Again, we're going to be talking about this one all throughout the week. It's going to be a pretty big event right there in Niles, Ohio. I'm telling you, it doesn't really get better than that, folks. It comes down to there we go. It comes down to, promoting and gaining exposure for athletes. And that's what the whole point, when I started this a couple of years ago as 4401 Goal, that was the object. That's what we wanted to do. And then when I teamed up with the gentleman here over at YSN, and we had a shared vision, that is the number one. We want to promote these kids. We want to provide opportunities, show all their hard work is never, ever going unnoticed. And speaking of hard work not going unnoticed, I want to send a huge shout out to the Edgewood Warriors softball team, who are currently sitting at 4-0, undefeated, with 2 huge wins under their belt, including 3 wins, actually, as they performed the sweep this weekend over Struthers. But I think the biggest win that they get in the last week has got to be that Perry game. Now, that Perry game, Perry is a very, very good athletic school. Anytime you see Perry in anything, they are going to bring you 100%. You're going to get everything you bargained for and a whole lot more. And that was evidenced by this Perry softball team, who has not lost a conference game in 78 games, which is just an absolutely incredible number. And it's one of those things, like, I almost want to compare it for wrestling fans. I almost want to compare that streak to kind of like the Undertaker streak, where after it gains so much, once you get past, honestly, like 40, you win like 40 conference games. Holy smokes. But they get all the way to, 70, 78 games in the conference that they haven't lost. It's like, who's going to beat them? Who's going to be able to get over that hill? And this Edgewood Warriors team that is coached by none other than Randy Venzel. And, I talked about him all season during basketball. I talked about it all season during basketball, about his ability and how much I truly look up to him, as a coach, because of what he's able to get done, what he's able to pull out of his young lady athletes, and just the amount of try that they give and the amount of fun that they have whenever they're playing under his coaching is just awesome. And you're seeing that again here with the softball team, as they are a perfect 4-0, number 1 in the CVC, after beating, Perry, which is just crazy. That's just a crazy number to get by. And congratulations again to that softball team, as they they're looking to make a big time run this year, and I think that's great. That is great for that Edgewood team. Speaking of another team getting their first win this year, Lakeside goes goes against Struthers. And they get a win with a lot of runs. 23-10, I believe, was the final on that one last week. Like, holy smokes. Lakeside's they've had a little bit of a rough go of it when it comes to softball so far in the year. But, they must have been saving all their runs for that game, because 23 runs against a pretty good Struthers team is something to really be mindful of. Now, they had a couple tough games to follow it, and they've got a tough game coming up today, as they're going to be heading against Laurel at Laurel. So best of luck to those young ladies. But man, what a way to go out on Thursday of last week, and 23-10 the final on that one. Just a huge not moral victory. I guess it's a huge way to get your season really going with a big win like that. Speaking of teams that are making their way up, we got to talk about the Edgewood Warriors. The Edgewood Warriors right now, baseball team. Edgewood Warriors are sitting at 3-0 in their conference and are now sitting atop the conference in the CVC Valley division. They are 3-0 with Kirtland and Cardinal both being 3-1 right behind them. So that CVC Valley division is a division that the Edgewood Warriors won last year, and they're looking to come back and win it again this year. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to be able to hold it off, because Cardinal in particular has some really talented guys over there. Obviously, Kirtland has athletes. Kirtland's got guys who have bought in. We know that, but Cardinal has a kid by the name of Jake Bean, who is arguably one of the best pitchers in the conference. Edgewood is returning as not only the conference champion, but they're returning with the conference player of the year in Logan Cray. And Logan Cray has been on absolute fire this year at the plate. We haven't got to see him pitch on the network yet, but he's taken on a role in the field as well as in the batter's box, and has really got that offense going for that Edgewood team. And, they've been able to score some runs. Again, they from my perspective, from where I've seen these guys, they're a bit of a slower starter. Not a first, a second inning team, but they come out there in the third inning and they blow the doors open, and it's like a leaky pipe, because once the water starts trickling, it's a deluge. They break right through, and it's been really fun getting to watch them. And guess what? We're going to get to watch them again today, as they're going to go Battle of the Bridge Baseball Edition. Lakeside versus Edgewood at Lakeside. That game set to first pitch at 5:00 today. And again, it's going to be one of many. We're probably going to have 3 or 4 games covered this week from this area, because with the weather, we got to take advantage of it. It's going to be beautiful all week. Nice, warm, no rain. Let's go. In the words of the umpires, play ball. Really, really looking forward to this week in baseball. I think it's going to this is going to be the first week that really kind of feels like a baseball week. It's going to feel like our first week of true spring ball is what we're going to be seeing this week. All right, I want to go over to our first break of the day now, and this is the time of the show. I just want to remind everybody that the 440 Sports Show is brought to you by right now absolutely nobody. We're looking for advertisers, we're looking for sponsors, we're looking for some help. If you're looking to promote your product, promote your business, or you just want to give back to local athletes, this is a perfect way to do it. With almost 70 schools, we have almost 70 different communities, 70 different demographics, and all the way from the Mahoning River to Lake Erie, everybody in between is going to be falling underneath. Well, almost everybody in between is going to be falling underneath of that YSN umbrella. So what a great way to get your product out there, and also give back to these schools, because it's the advertisements, it's the sponsorships, it's the help from local business owners that is what's helping us produce these broadcasts. It's what helps us give the extras that we can give. I know me personally, broadcasting and advertising is really what feeds the scholarships we've given out, like giving out the football player of the year and the volleyball player of the year, those 2 scholarships that are given to Ashtabula County athletes. All of those things are fed by advertisements and sponsorships and help from local business owners. The 3 pillars that YSN were built on are the 3 pillars that I started when I started in this business, and that's keeping it live, keeping it local, and keeping it loyal. And all 3 of those things are what they offer here. And that's why I'm hoping that we can get some input, some advertising, some help from sponsors right here in the Ashtabula area. If you have any anybody that you think would be a great fit, or if you yourself have a product and would like to give back and get some advertising, please contact me. I'm available on all the social medias you see below here. If you want to go over to the website, you can go to ysnlive.com under advertisement, and there's going to be an email there. We'll talk to you. It's a great way to get your product out there, and we'd love to partner with you to help on the show. Again, all right, that's my that's my part of that. So let's go to our first break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about these power rankings that just came out. We're going to go over the starting 9, and then we're also going to cover what's on the slate for today when it comes to games on the network. My name is Sam Torres. Thanks so much for joining this morning, the 440 Sports Show. We'll be back here in just about 2.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn.
Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience, WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists.
Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats.
Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Jimmy Sutton here, director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These 3 values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Mill Creek Metro Parks is your park for all seasons. Make a memory in the park. Plan your visit today at millcreekmetroparks.org.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the 440 Sports Show. My name is Sam Torres. Thanks for joining us this morning here on this Easter Monday, as some kids are going back to school and some kids are actually getting their first break of the year. I know my kids are getting their first break of the year. But we've got we're in the second half of the show here, so I want to make sure that I cover kind of some of the stuff we covered on the Diamond Roundup yesterday. We introduced a brand new power rankings, as well as this week 2 softball and baseball starting 9. Starting 9 is going to be the 9 biggest performances within the YSN umbrella over the last week, both baseball and softball. And obviously power rankings, it goes without said. These power rankings are very interesting. We've got, some, I think the top is really, pretty set. I think the top makes a whole lot of sense. I think that middle is where there's a lot of room to argue, and that's my favorite part of these power rankings. And as it's put into a formula, it goes based upon how many games you've won, as well as how many teams they've beat, and all these sort of things. it really kind of takes the personal part out of it. Although whether you want to admit it or not, there's always going to be a little bit of a vote because sometimes the stuff doesn't make sense. We have to fix it. These are going to be as of Friday. The Saturday games were not included in these power rankings either. But let's start right here with baseball. As we go into the Power 20 here on YSN during this baseball season, the first ones. Poland staying atop of the staying on top here, and this one is Poland is very good. I do believe that they have one loss now on the year, and I want to make sure I get that right. But they have the wins that they have gotten this year are absolutely phenomenal. That NE8 conference is going to be so hotly contested. It's going to be interesting to see who's actually going to be able to last throughout, and they do not have a loss actually. So they currently stand at 6-0. So undefeated is where Poland has, according to Max Preps at least. And then right behind them, Warren JFK. Warren JFK is one of those teams that's very good. They don't have as many games because tons and tons of rainouts happening for that team with. And then West Branch right behind there. South Range, Fitch. Fitch is an interesting one because I think there were a lot of people wondering kind of what direction is Fitch going to go this year. Losing every team loses seniors, every team loses, their big players at some point. But Fitch probably loses one that is absolutely huge in Joe Roth, who, you can find him, toting the hill over there at Akron University. I mean, losing leadership and a skill set like that, holy smokes. But Fitch is able to kind of put it together. And here we go this year as they've had some really, really big wins and stand at number 5, a top 5 power ranking school right now in YSN. You've got McDonald right behind them, Ursuline, Canfield, Jackson, Milton, Lakeview. Lakeview is probably the biggest sleeper, I think, of the year. Lakeview has come up this year and made some really, really big wins so far. And I think, including beating South Range. So Lakeview is one of those teams that I think that is going to continue to creep up the power rankings. And I'll be honest with you, they might be the one that knocks off Big Bad Poland. Poland is very, very good, but at some point somebody's going to get them unless they go perfect, which great, good for them. Champion at 11, LeBray at 12, Crestview at 13, Springfield at 14, United at 15, and Edgewood sitting at 16. Again, this is Friday without a couple wins over the weekend. Edgewood is a team that I think you are going to potentially see creep up into you're going to see creep up in the rankings on this one. They've got a lot of matchups that are going to kind of are going to be favorable for them. Sorry, there we go. They've got a lot of matchups coming up that not only are they favorable for them, but they're also going to let Edgewood kind of show how good they really are. Again, right now sitting on the top of the conference, Edgewood has a good chance of Edgewood's got a really good chance of jumping up this next week. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not, very, very close to the top 10 next week. This is Edgewood, the sky's the limit for that team right now. And that's just the honest truth. They've got a way to kind of, sneak their way in there. Another team that I think is going to eventually sneak into this one is St. John. I think St. John's going to have a chance to crack the top 20 this year. They're a very talented baseball team. They've got some really good baseball players, Ryan Williams, Will Anderson, Jose Hernandez, the Miller boys. I mean, they've got the Severino kids. I mean, they're really, really good. They're really, really good. And as they head into their conference play, they've played some really big schools so far on the year, and they've also been absolutely victimized by the rain this year. With I think the last time I talked to Coach Alvin Rodriguez, it was up to 6 cancellations already on the year. So that's another team to kind of keep your eyes on. And there's a lot of teams out here that are going to be, sneakily getting in there. Conneaut's got some quality players out there. I wouldn't be surprised if they crack that top 20. Jefferson is going to have as good a shot at it as anybody. Jefferson is playing 1, 2, 3. Three of the teams that sit in the top 20 right now, Jefferson plays on their schedule because of their conference. So, what a great opportunity for them to crack that top 22. So it's going to be a really, this top 20 is something that is, it's highly talked about within the circle, within the group. This is something, there's a lot of back and forth that goes on. Again, there's a formula to it. So the math does the math thing, but I guess I'm like one of the old guys in the movie Moneyball. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't just live and die by the numbers. There's a little bit of an eye test to it. There's a little bit. Sometimes you got to make corrections, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that is going to be the Power 20 this week, or the first Power 20 for the baseball season. So let's bring up this Power 20 for softball. And here's another one. So right here at the top, Fitch, Canfield, and South Range. I don't think you could argue anybody else there. I'll be honest with you. I don't think you can argue number one. I think Fitch with Sydney Watts as their pitcher, they're incredible. They are absolutely incredible. She is one of the best pitchers in Northeast Ohio. I think she's a girl that you're going to be seeing playing at a Division I or at very minimum a big college next year. And they've got some defense behind them. They've got some bats. They're averaging like 7 or 8 runs a game. I mean, Fitch has really got it going on here in softball. Right behind them, Canfield, followed by South Range, Champion. Champion's got a young lady by the name, and let me double check. I want to make sure I'm giving her the right. I believe that is where Gabby Gradishar is actually attending. Yeah, Gabby Gradishar. They've got a young lady out there, Gabby Gradishar, who is a pitcher as well as a big bat for them. As they're just outside of the top 3, and they're going to be. I don't see a downward trend for that team. That is for sure. McDonald's got the same thing going on. Poland softball has been on fire this year as well. Crestview behind them, West Branch, Western Reserve, Ursuline, Howland, and then here at number 12 is Edgewood. So Edgewood right now, perfect 4-0. Look for them. Their arrow is up. Their arrow is the green upward arrow. I think Edgewood is going to be trending up. Next week, I would assume they're going to be at least in the top 10. Carrying on this, continuing on this current upward trend for them, this current rate. As long as they keep winning games, they're going to be trending upward. I think they're a potential top 5 team. If they get going this year as well, and you never know where it can stop. One thing I know with Randy Venzel is I'm not going to underestimate him, because you do that before you know it, boom, you're out of the game. That's how quickly that happens. Right behind Edgewood is going to be Lakeview at 13, United at 14, Springfield at 15, Brookfield at 16, Garfield at 17, Edison at 18, and Cardinal Mooney at 19. And then rounding it out at number 20 is going to be Girard. Again, this one is a really interesting one. I cannot wait to kind of see how this season ends up. That power ranking is going to change week to week, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that goes into it. And, some of the teams that aren't on there are really just victim to rainouts. The rainouts. And I'm going to be interested. Can St. John crack that top 20 this year? Absolutely they can. With an arm like Izzy Holler on there, are they going to win a lot of softball games this year? You bet. Jefferson, when their hitting is on, they are on fire. They have got it going on. We saw Matelia Matuz hitting 2 tanks in a game last week. where are they going to end up this year? But you're going to want to make sure you tune in every week on Sunday at 7:00. That's the baseball and softball review show. That's where we're going to unveil these rankings. We're hoping to get, we've got a lot of announcers right now kind of all over the place. I want to send a huge shout out to our YSN team that's down in Myrtle Beach right now, because, we essentially took the show on the road, as there's a couple YSN teams that headed down to Myrtle Beach to play in a big tournament. And actually, you'll be able to see some of it right now as it's available live on Facebook. We're going to have a full slate of live games here on the website coming up very, very soon. It's going to be a full day of baseball and softball here. I do want to let you guys know, or actually, I kind of want to remind y'all to go check out our website, ysnlive.com / or just go to ysnlive.com and then go to the scores tab. Now, if you want to know what the local scores are in this area, you go right here and they're all going to be posted right here. So this is obviously from Friday. We had a couple games on Saturday and Sunday there as well, but you come here to ysnlive.com, and I mean, how beautiful is this website? Gets everything you need, all the scores from, the YSN scores. You go to live games, that's going to be actually a game played yesterday on Easter, as Austintown Fitch, playing TBA, to be announced, actually. I'm sorry. They're down there in Myrtle Beach. So they're in this big tournament. So that's why it's to be announced. You go to your standings. They're right there. It's going to have everybody you pick, like we had over the CVC, or you go to the NE8. You know what I mean? All their updated standings. You're just going to have an idea of where everybody is kind of sitting. And it's a great information website. And again, if you want to check out some schools, you go to the conference you want to go to, we'll head over to the NE8, you go over to the NE8, and then bam, you want to relive that Jefferson playoff run. You want to relive that stuff. Here we are. It's all available right now, right there on ysnlive.com. Doesn't get any better than that, folks. Go check it out. Shout out to, go. Just a great website to kind of check out and utilize. There's so much going on that website at all times. It's really worth checking in, once or twice a day just to see what's going on. I do want to update you guys on what games are going on today on the network, plus the games that are in Myrtle Beach, which aren't scheduled yet because they don't know who's playing who. But you are going to have on the boys baseball side, Southern taking on Columbiana at Columbiana. That one going to be live. Girard at Struthers going to be live. Niles at Hubbard going to be live. Lakeside at Edgewood. That one's going to be live and called by yours truly. First pitch at 5:00 right there at beautiful Edgewood High School. On the softball side, we've got Champion at Garfield, Girard at Struthers, and St. Thomas taking on JFK at JFK. So that's the slate for today's games. Again, we're going to have a ton going on this week. It's a beautiful week, so there's going to be a lot of baseball covered. That much I can promise you. That's what we got for this Monday, the Easter Monday show here. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter, if that's a holiday that you are that you are celebrating. I know in this house we celebrate it. So, we had a good day. We ate a lot of great food, had a lot of great family time. It was just an awesome day. I really do. I love Easter. So it's a great day to spend with your family and just kind of reflect and be thankful. That's what we got going on here. So again, make sure you come back today as at 5:00. It's going to be Battle of the Bridge, Edgewood versus Lakeside, the baseball edition. That's what's on tap for today. And we're going to have a lot more coming up tomorrow. We'll see how this game goes. Obviously, we're going to do a full review and maybe review a couple of those games down there in Myrtle Beach as well, because they've got a lot going on down there. And again, make sure you mark your calendars for Saturday, as that boxing match is going to be an absolute blast. I'm so excited to call that with a member of my family in Elvis Torres, who's also a very, very talented graphic designer, who's going to be joining me on the broadcast for that one. Provides a ton of experience, a ton of knowledge. For the 440 Sports Show, my name is Sam Torres. Thanks so much for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
This for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo, hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmetto Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city, you wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain, man. Shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. Switch for the fofo.